Hello, guys, and welcome to the very first chapter of Information Technology 402 in class 9. The name of the chapter is Word Processing Basic. This is the first unit that is going to be taught by me to you guys, and although this is unit 8 of part B of your books, we are going to touch this first in our syllabus, so that's why we are learning this. In this unit you are going to learn about what is a word processor and the features of a word processor, the basics of a word processor. Here the word processor that we are going to learn is Microsoft Word. In the book it is given Microsoft Word 2010, but I am going to teach you about Microsoft Word 2016 and how to use it. The features are mostly the same, and the things that you will learn in Word 2010 is carried over to Word 2016. They are not that much different, but we are going to learn about that. And then we are going to learn about, firstly we are going to differentiate why we are using a word processor and why we are not using a text editor, the differences between a word processor and a text editor. And then we are going to learn about the user interface of Microsoft Word, the document editing and formatting portion, how to edit and format a document in Microsoft Word, how to apply bullets and numberings, how to create tables, how to change the view of Microsoft Word, the spelling and grammar check, the how to apply borders and shading, basically all the options that are there in Microsoft Word to create beautiful documents. Okay. In the current technology-driven world, activities such as creating, maintaining documents have become a very integral part of our day-to-day business. And the document serves as a store of information, a source of that information for an organization for conducting various business activities such as decision making, planning, knowledge sharing, information analysis, etc. And small organizations need to create and manage documents. You as a computer science student will have to know how to create, edit, format and print documents for your day-to-day tasks. Okay, so you are going to learn to start editing and saving documents in Microsoft Word. You learn about the user interface, you learn about how to check spelling and grammar. Then tables, which are a very important part of Microsoft Word, and how to create, format and convert table from text and vice versa. And you learn to apply borders and shading, which is very important if you are to create beautiful documents. So all these things. So without much further ado, let's just jump into the chapter, that is word processing. So what is word processing? Now, word processing, as definition, it is given here. Word processing is the process to create, edit, save and print the text documents on the computer using a word processor such as Microsoft Word, OpenOffice Writer and WordPad. Now, what is a word processor? A word processor is a software which lets us create, edit, save, print text documents. Okay, now you are going to ask, are all software where we can type text are word processors? No, some of them are text editors. There's a difference between a word processor and a text editor. For example, if I right now open Notepad and if I just write a sentence, the quick brown fox. Okay, so this sentence that I have written in a text editor, I cannot format this sentence. I cannot make it bold, little, although I can by doing some options, by using some of the options here, still this is inadequate. Okay, in a text editor this is inadequate. Why? Because the purpose of a text editor is to type and contain text, nothing else. You can save this one and the text is only contained in the text editor. You cannot add borders and shading, and even if you print this one, it will come very differently than what you want in an A4 sheet. Okay, but if I open Word just here, okay, and if I write the same points, if I write the same line, let's say the quick brown fox. I hope everyone can see this. Let's make it bigger. Okay, so if I write this line, then just by using a few mouse clicks, let's say I want the color of the fox to be red, then I can change the color to, let's say, red. I want this to be underlined, then I can just click here and make this underline. Okay, I want this to be a little thicker than the rest of the words, so I will bold it. So I can do all these options here in Microsoft Word, but in Notepad I cannot do any of these options. Let me quickly check if I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. Okay, but in the text editor, that is Notepad, I cannot use all these options as quickly I can use in Microsoft Word. Why? Because Microsoft Word is a word processor. Word processor is a software that quickly lets us edit, create documents, and a most important feature of a word processor is it lets us print document exactly as we want it. Now this will come out in an A4 sheet exactly as it is shown here, but here, even if I go to file and print, it will not show me any option how it will come in a page, etc. Okay, then there are some various other things, such as we can insert tables in a word processor if you want. We can create data in tables. We can design some of these things so that it looks pretty, nothing else. Okay, so we can modify, edit text, we can create tables, we can add borders, we can add page borders in the document so that it looks good. We can even use a specific design for the whole page. Okay, so all these things we can do in a word processor, but not in a text editor. So that's why we need to learn for our day-to-day task, for any sort of typing or printing, we must learn how to operate a word processor. And the word processor that we are going to learn here is Microsoft Word. Now, what is Microsoft Word? If the question comes, then Microsoft Word is nothing but a word processor which lets us create, edit, save, and print text documents. Microsoft Word was developed by Microsoft Corporation. Okay, and the latest version of it is 2019. Although it is 2019, I prefer you guys learn about 2016 before jumping to 2019, because some of the options in 2019 are much advanced, like the search feature in 2019 and the quick merge feature in 2019, which you can do only if you know certain things. Okay, so we are going to learn about Microsoft Word. Yes, we are going to learn about Microsoft Word 2016. Yes, how to open, close documents, etc, etc. Okay, but before that, why we use a word processor? What are the features of a word processor? Number one is fast speed. It lets us to type much faster as compared to any conventional typewriter. So let's say you have a manual typewriter and you want to create a document in the manual typewriter. If you make a mistake while typing, it's very difficult to erase it. Okay, so but in a word processor, if you use a word processor and if you type, even if you make a mistake, you can just backspace it out and then write the correct sentence again. So after you create the entire document, then you send it for print, and then the document is printed. I would like to drop in a thing here, a very good acronym, WSYIWYG. Okay, what you see is what you get. A Microsoft Word file, a Microsoft Word document is what you see is what you get type of a document. That means whatever you are seeing on the page, in this page, whatever you are seeing, however you are typing it, if you print it out, you'll get it exactly as you have typed it out. Okay, so that's why we use Microsoft Word for fast typing, the fast speed. Then easy editing, it lets us perform all types of editing tasks in a text document, such as insertion, deletion, modification, etc. So if we open Word, and if we want to, let's say, the quick fox. Now if I want to insert a word in between these two words, then just by clicking here and typing the word, we can easily insert the word. Okay, so insertion, editing the word if the word is not correct. Let's say I have used double W's. Okay, so see, it immediately shows me a thing that is that tells me that it has an internal dictionary and a grammar, internal dictionary and a thesaurus, so that it knows that the words that you are typing, whether it is correct or wrong. Now I have typed in a wrong word, I want to correct it, so I can just right click on it and I can select the correct word. So correction of words become easy. And then insertion, deletion and modification. Now even if you want to delete the word, then it is easy in a word processor than a conventional typewriter. Remember, we are comparing it with a conventional typewriter, the manual typewriters. Okay, so a word processor is easy in all these respects. Okay, so easy editing. Then permanent storage, you can save the file permanently in the computer. After you have modified it, after you have edited it, you can save the file. Okay, and whenever you need to re-edit it, or whenever you need the file again, you can take it out from the saved documents and edit it, and if you want, you can print it. So all these things become easier in a word processor. You can save the file. Then simple formatting, if we want to use simple formatting, let's say I want to make this a little bit bold, I want to make this italics, and I want to underline this word, then all these things become easier. Now these things that I did it with shortcuts. Okay, so it lets us use shortcuts to do some common and easy simple editing, and using these shortcuts you can quickly make quickly edit the document. Okay, so that's what it is said here, that simple formatting, it enables you to format your document easily. For example, you can change the text of your document to bold, italic or different fonts. And then one more feature is adding graphics. That means you can add pictures, you can add text materials from other pages, etc. Okay, you can even insert tables and all these things. So these are some of the basic features of a word processor: fast speed, easy editing, permanent storage, simple formatting, and adding graphics. So FEPSA. What are the list some major features of a word processor? The question will come like that. So the major features of a word processor are fast speed, easy editing, permanent storage, simple formatting, and adding graphics. That's why we use a word processor. Okay. The next thing is how to start Microsoft Word. Very easy in Windows 10. Just click on Start, type WORD, Word, click on it, and Word starts. But immediately after Word starts, it will give you this page, which you don't need. You don't need any of these themes right now. Okay, you don't need any of these templates or any of these formats right now. So whenever you are going to start a new document now, here when we're doing the practicals, you'll always click on blank document. That means it's blank, the entire document is blank, and we'll create it in our own style. Okay, so to start Microsoft Word, just click on start, type Word, WORD, open Word, and then click on blank document. This lets you start the Microsoft Word. Okay, and then similarly, if you want to close the document, then just close it. If you are typing something, if you have typed something and you want to save the document, then just go to file, which will open the backstage view. This entire view is known as the backstage view. Okay, so clicking on file opens the backstage view. In the backstage view, you have some options: home, new, open. Home is where all the recent Word documents that you have created is saved, and the templates you can see here. Then new creates a new document or use any of these templates. See, not even documents, you can even create things like these. All these can be created in Word. And open means you can open all your previously created documents. Info gives you the info of the document. If you want to manage the document, if you want to add your own properties, your own name, who created the document, who is the author, last modified, all these things. And then save. The save option allows you to save the document in any of the location. Now here in Word 2016 and in 2019, clicking on save will let, if the document is not saved previously, then file, clicking on save will immediately take you to save as. Now in save as, you can click on browse, select any location that you want, and then you can save the document just by clicking on save here. So to save a document, now what you will do is go to file, this will open the backstage view, click on save as, click on browse, and then you can select the location in which you want to save the document. The document is always saved in the extension .docx. docx, remember, docx means Microsoft Word document. Okay, now there are many versions of Word. There is Word 2010, there is Microsoft Word 2007, and there are Word versions before that. Now if you want your document, whatever document that you have created, to be compatible to the other versions of Microsoft Word, then click on file, click on save as, click on browse, select the location where you want the document to save, type the name of the document, and then instead of giving docx, you have to change it here. Okay, so if you want a document that is compatible with Microsoft Word 97 and 2003, then you click here and then you save it. Then see, the extension automatically changes to doc. Doc was the old extension. Okay, and from Microsoft Word 2007 to 2019, the extension changed to .docx. Other than that, there are other formats also like PDF, which is immediately recognizable. If you want to save the document as a digital format PDF, then just click on PDF and click on save, then the document will be saved as PDF. If you want to select if you want to save the document as either RTF rich text format or plain text. Now RTF rich text format and plain text are the extensions in which, if you use a text editor, if you type a document in text editor, then in these are the extensions in which the text editor will save your file. Okay, so you can, even in Microsoft Word, you can save the file that can be opened in the text editor by using any of these two extensions, an RTF or a .txt. txt is the most common, plain text. Okay, then if you want inter-software compatibility, that means you have created a document in Microsoft Word and you want to open it in another word processor such as LibreOffice or OpenOffice. Okay, OpenOffice Writer is an example of a word processor which now class 10 but previously class 9 people have learned about it. What you need to do to change the compatibility is file, creates save as, click on browse, save the document, and instead of saving it in docx, you will save it in open document text or .odt. This will save the document in the format of OpenOffice Writer or LibreOffice or any other. So open document text, ODT, lets you create the document in a format which can be opened by almost 99.99% of all different word processors out there. Okay, but Microsoft Office is a proprietary software, so .docx and .docx documents can be opened by Microsoft Word only. So if you want, and Microsoft Word is almost 90% of people use Microsoft Word to create documents, so use .docx. Okay, so type in your name, .docx, save the document, click on save. This will save your document. This is how you save a document in Microsoft Word. Okay, then if your document is already saved, now let's say let me create some quickly random text. Okay, 5, this option lets you create some random text. Save. Okay, let's say you have typed the document, okay, and you want to save it. Then go to file, click on save as, click on browse, select the location in which you want to save the document. Let's say I want to save the document in documents, and let's say I want the name of the document to be video, and no need to type .docx after typing the name because the save as type is already mentioned as .docx. Click on save. Now if you close the document and you want the saved document to open again, there are two ways by which you can open the document. First, browse to the location where you have created the document, video.docx. See, this is where I double click on it and the document will open in Microsoft Word. This is one way. The other way is, if you don't remember the name of the last created document, for example, then you open Word. Okay. Then you go to the let's say you go, this is the home option, and in recent documents there it will display what document that you have created. Even then, if you don't remember, if it is not shown here, then just click on open here, open option, then click on browse, go to the location where you have saved the document, click on the name of the document in which you have saved it, click on open, then the document will be open. So these are some of the ways by which you can open the document. Okay, so creating, saving, opening the document is very easy in a word processor. Now you have to learn some shortcuts. So the shortcut to save a document is Ctrl plus S, Ctrl plus S. This lets you save the document. Okay, so after you have saved the document once, no need to go to file, save as again. Okay, after you have saved the document once, click on file and save. This will save the document in the same name that you have saved the previous document, but after you have done your editing. Okay, so after you have saved, if you have saved the document once and you want to save after some editing, you want to say, let's say I want to make this bold. Okay, I want to make this bold, and after making the editing, I want to save the document. Now this time I will not click on save as again, I'll just click on save. This will save the document in the previously saved document format. Okay, and the location. Shortcut, just click on this floppy option, save. And even more, if you want another shortcut, then in your keyboard just press Ctrl plus S. This will let you save the document. Shortcut to open a document, Ctrl plus O. This will let you open a document. Shortcut to create a new document is Ctrl plus N. This will let you create another document in which you can type and you can save again. Okay, so these are some of the shortcuts. Then I have already explained it to you, the backstage view. This is the backstage view. This is present in Microsoft Word 2010 and upwards. In the backstage view there are various options such as save, save as, and print option. Here you can print your document in whatever way you want. You can print it as portrait, you can print it as landscape, you can select the printer in which you will print. Okay, and then you just after selecting and all, just click on print, and the number of copies you want 5 copies of the same document to be printed, etc. So you can select all these options and click on print, and the document will be printed on that. And then if you want to export the document, now printing and exporting are two different things. In printing, you're giving the document to a hardware device or a software printer, let's say I have Nitro PDF installed, so it has created a Nitro PDF software printer which lets me save the file in PDF only. So it is same as file save as, browse, and then saving it in PDF. It's the same option, but it has some other options also, so that's why I have installed this software. Next, you can select, let's say this is the hardware printer that I have. Now I have not have the printer connected, that's why it is showing as offline, but if you have a printer connected, then it will show you as online, and you can print the document in that format. And then there are other things also. Microsoft Print to PDF is same as file save as PDF. Okay, so these are the options, and you can also select the margins. You can give custom margins, that we'll get to later, how you can select the margin. So all these options are present in the print command of the backstage view. Then you have the share option where you can send email of the same document, and then export. Export is not saving, it is exporting the file to a different format. Now let's say I want to export it as PDF, then I can export it as PDF, or if I want to export it in extended print format, XPS, then I can save it as XPS. So different formats I can export it to, and then close just closes the document. But now I don't want to close the document, so I have clicked on cancel. So these are the various save and export options and print options that you can get in backstage view. And if you want to change the properties, as I have already told you, go to info and you can add your properties here. You can even create a password for the document. Let's say you want to protect the document. Let's say that's a question paper and you don't want the students to see. So what I will do is I will create a password for the document, encrypted password, so that whenever I open the document, it lets me enter a password, and then only the document is opened. Okay. Then we have what do we have? We have the elements of Microsoft Word, that is the screen elements of Microsoft Word. So what are the various elements? That means the whole window, the Microsoft Word window. What does it have? Okay, so when you first open the Microsoft Word window, when you click on the blank document and you open, let me just create a blank document. Yeah, so this is the Microsoft Word window which you guys will get. Now Microsoft Word or any Microsoft Office products window is arranged in tabs and groups. The menus are arranged in, the commands are arranged in tabs and groups, and there are various parts of the window. So starting from the topmost part, this whole thing, this entire thing where the minimize, maximize and the close buttons are there, and this menu, this is the quick access toolbar. Okay, so it has some various options which, instead of going to the backstage view, if you want quickly to access these options, then you can access these options here. Okay, like saving. Okay, so instead of just clicking on going to file, save as and all these things, I can just click on here and immediately I can save the document. Or to print, you can just give print preview and print, just click here and it will let you have a print preview like this, and you can print the document. So all this various commands, the main purpose of the quick access toolbar is so that it contains commands so that you can do that in a single click. You can use these commands in a single click instead of going inside the menu, the backstage view. Okay, it contains commonly used commands, not commands like you make the text bold, italic and underline at the same time, not those commands. It contains some commonly used commands such as new, open, save, quick print, print preview and all these things. Okay, so this is the quick access toolbar. The bar that contains the quick access toolbar and these buttons, the maximize, minimize and the close, don't worry about these two buttons, the maximize, minimize and the close, and the name of the document. The bar which contains all these three is the title bar. Okay, Below the title bar, we have the menu bar, which contains different menus. Okay, and these menus are arranged in tabs. This is one tab. This whole thing is known as a tab. Now this is the home tab, this is the insert tab, this is the design tab, this is the layout tab. So these are various tabs. When you click on a tab, it will open the commands inside that tab. Home tab contains these many commands. Insert tab contains these many commands. Okay, so these commands are arranged in groups. Okay, so home tab, inside home tab there is the clipboard group. This is the clipboard group, and inside clipboard group you have the paste command, you have the cut command, the copy command, and the format painter command, for example. Then you have the font group. In the font group you can select various fonts that you can apply, the font sizes, increase or decrease fonts, changing the case, the toggling the case of the sentence, then applying or clearing out certain formatting, then using bold, italic, underline, then strike through text and subscript and superscript, then creating various text effects. Before this one there was word art. You also have word art here, but we now use text effects. Okay, so these are the effects that you can apply in text. Then background, highlighting, and then changing the font color. So all these commands are present in the font tab. Then we have the paragraph tab, which lets us apply bullets and numberings, changing the alignment of the paragraph, increasing and decreasing indent of the paragraph, then setting the line and paragraph spacing. So let me show you in this document. Okay, this document that I have created, if you want to apply, let's say, more space between these two lines, okay, then you just click here and you can select any spacing that you want. Okay, and if you want to apply bullets or numbering, okay, so you can apply these, you can make lists out of it. Then if you want to change the alignment of the text, now this text is aligned as left, that means it is coming from left to right. If I want to right align the text, I can just click here and then make the text right line. If I want to center align the text, then you can center, make the text look like it is coming in center. Okay, or justify just makes the lines so that it evenly distributes between the left and the right margins. Okay, so all these options you can use. And then line and paragraph spacing. Indenting means giving more space to the start of the line. So for example, if I click here, then it will give more space from where I am starting the paragraph. This is increase indent and this is decrease indent. Then you have the shading of the paragraph that you want. This is, however, highlighting. Remember, highlighting, what it does is it creates a highlight, it gives a highlight color to the text. Okay, so this is highlighting and this is paragraph shading. So see the difference between highlighting. Highlights individual lines. There are white spaces between the highlighting, so you can clearly get the difference between highlighting and paragraph shading. So if you want to give a shading to the paragraph, not highlight, okay, so just select the paragraph and then use the proper shading that you want, and then the shading is applied. So when you shade, there is no white space between the lines, the entire paragraph is shaded. Okay, so these are the options that you can use. And then the table border option. So if you want to create a border, you can give the borders here. So all these things you can use from the paragraph group. Then you have the styles group. In the styles group, you can apply various styles if you want. So these are the various styles that are available. You can create your own style, or to create a formatting of a particular style. So here, see, I have applied paragraph background color, and if when I click on clear style, it clears the entire style. So this resets whatever style you have applied. Then you have the find, replace, and select in the editing group. In the editing group, you have the find option that lets you find the text. Then the replace option, which, let's say I want to replace the word you wherever it is, and you to we. Okay, So what I can do is, in this paragraph, wherever the word you is, I want to change it to we. So I can, like, let's say I want to find the word you, where the word you is. Then if I just click on you, then see, wherever the word you is now, even in your, it is pointing out you. Okay, so be careful where you are using finding text, because it finds everything that you have typed. Okay, so this is how you can find text. And if you want to replace text, okay, then what you want to replace you with we. Okay, then if you click on replace, then it will replace just one you with we. If you click on replace all, then wherever you have okay, I just did a, see, after you replace one word, it asks you whether you want to replace in the entire document. Okay, so let's say replace, and do you want to check the rest? If you click on yes, then it will replace it in the entire document. Okay, so this is how you replace a certain word in the entire document. Now I don't want to replace it, so I just press, yeah, undo and redo, very commonly used things. Undo undoes, or it resets the commonly done, the command which you have used right now. For example, I have typed something, let's say this I have typed, and I want to undo that. So I can just press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z on the keyboard. It will undo whatever you have done. Okay, you can even press here, this is the undo command. Now redo means whatever you undid, whatever you have clicked undo for, it does that thing again. Okay, so undo, redo, undo, redo. Undo, what it does is it cancels the command or the thing that you have done. It takes you back to the previous state. But redo, whatever undo did, it redoes that. Okay, so this is the work of undo and redo, two commonly used commands. So what I was explaining was tabs and groups. So in Microsoft Word, everything, all these menus are arranged in tabs. There are various tabs. There is the insert tab, there is the design tab, there is the layout tab. We'll go through these tabs after some time. Okay, but it's on you. If you want to explore these tabs, then you can just click on the tab, use the command. See, like for inserting a picture, I'll just go to insert tab, click on picture, and then I can insert a picture. So a picture is inserted. So I don't want the picture, so I'm clicking on undo. Okay, so I have not inserted the picture. So using tabs and groups, you can perform various commands in Microsoft Word. Commands are arranged in groups, specific groups, and groups are together bunched up to a tab. So whenever we speak of a command, okay, in Microsoft Word, then we first speak about the tab, then we speak about the group, and then we speak about the command. For example, the paste command. How to get to the paste command? Like let's say this word sidebar. Okay, how to go, like let's say I have copied it and I want to paste it here. I want to paste it here. So how to go to the paste command? If you are asking to a beginner on Microsoft Word, then you have to say, now beginner means you guys. Okay, so you have to say, if the question comes how to get to the paste command, you have to say in the home tab, the clipboard group, there is the paste command, which I can click and the text is pasted. Undo. Where is the paste command? The home tab, the clipboard group. Okay, where is the select command? The select command is in the home tab, the editing group, there is the select command. Okay, where is the underline command? In the home tab, the font group, there is the underline command. So okay, so these are the various commands, okay, which you can use. The commands are arranged in groups. These groups are bunched up together in tabs, and you can select the tabs. So this is the second part of the graphical user interface. The first part, title part, which contains the quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar lets us do commonly done tasks in one click. Then there is the minimize, maximize, and close buttons in the title bar. The title bar also shows the name of the document. Okay, listen very carefully, because what is the purpose of the title bar? It might ask. It helps us to identify the document by showing us the name. It contains the quick access toolbar and minimize, maximize and close buttons. Then we have the menu bar. In the menus are arranged in tabs, the home tab, the insert tab, the design tab. Okay, this is the file tab, however, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And these tabs have various commands arranged in groups. So for example, the paste command or the, let's say, font increase command, okay, increase font size command, that is present in home tab, font group, there is the command. Okay, so commands are arranged in groups which are bunched together in tabs. Then you have these things, these lines, these are the rulers. Okay, these are the rulers. Oh, before that, there will be the help option in somewhere here. This is the help button. Now if you don't know anything and you are connected to the internet just like me, you can, 1 minute, okay, I want my battery to last. So if you want help in anything and you are connected to the internet, then you can just click on help button and it will display the help window, which will let you search through the various options. Like if you want to how to apply bold, so if you just want to see how to apply bold, then in Word you can make your text bold in 3 ways. Use the bold button and the mini toolbar. See, it helps you in doing those commands, so you can use the help button. So this is a part of the graphical user interface. Then you have these things are the rulers in Microsoft Word. Okay, all right. Rulers, what it does is it has certain things. Okay, firstly it identifies the margins of the document. This is the left margin. It is identified the shaded portion and the non-shaded portion. This is the left margin, this is the right margin, this is the top margin. Okay, and then this is the bottom margin. Firstly the rulers identify the margins, then it lets us set indentations. Now what is an indentation? Okay, let's say you are writing a paragraph. The paragraph, normally if you are writing it in English, the paragraph does not start from here. It starts a little bit, you leave a little bit of space and then you start the paragraph. For example, this much space. Okay, so this space that you have left in start of the paragraph, let's say you leave this space in start of every paragraph, this space is known as indentation. That means you are indenting the paragraph. Okay, so ruler identifies, secondly the ruler identifies indentation. How it identifies indentation? It has some certain indentation markers. Okay, so it's very difficult to see this, but there is like a hourglass figure here. The top of the hourglass, let me just quickly magnify it. Okay, okay, I want to increase the view. Okay, so see this hourglass figure, the top is the top indent. What the top indent does is it identifies the amount of indentation that you give to the first line of the paragraph. Or if you want to give some indentation to the first line of the paragraph, for example, let's say 1 centimeter of indentation, then just click on the top indent and move it to here, and then this paragraph was selected, sorry. So just click here and move this indent, it will give you that much amount of indentation. Okay, so this is the purpose of the top first line or the top indent. Okay, this is known as first line indent or the top indent. The top indent, what it does is it gives some space to the first line of the paragraph. Got it? Just now I have removed the indentation and see this thing came back till here. Okay, by the way, the arrow is going like this because it is showing the margin. If I want to increase the margin like this, then I can just click and drag this one. It is very difficult. Yeah, so if I click and drag this one, see how it increases the margin. Okay, so this also lets us the ruler also lets us adjust the margin. Then the top indent and then the hanging indent or the bottom indent. The hanging indent, what it does is, instead of the first line, If you want to move the rest of the paragraph, then select the paragraph and then just click on the hanging indent, and the hanging indent, see, it moves the rest of the paragraph but not the first line. If you want to move the first line, then you have to click on the top indent. Okay, and then you have the left indent. Now the left indent, it lets us move the indentation towards the left of the paragraph. So ruler identifies the various indentation that you can do in a paragraph. That this is the right indent. That similarly you can do this one. See, okay, you can leave spaces in your indentation. Basically, the indentation starts at the ending of the margin, and if you want to give indent, then you just give the first line indent. Okay, you don't give this indent. There are some cases where you want the whole paragraph to be indented, but we'll discuss that later. So the rulers, and the top ruler, it has the indentation marks. Okay, indentation markers. Then you have the left ruler, this ruler. This ruler, firstly, its main job is to display the top margin and the bottom margin, but other than that, it sets the margin for the header and footer also. So let's say you want to insert a header. Okay, design header. Let's see. No, wait, where is it? Oh, layout. Oh my god, where was the header? Page mark, page color. Okay, since I do everything in shortcut, do you want to know this shortcut? Yeah, there is the header. It's insert tab. In the header and footer group, there is the header, but as I told you, I would show you the shortcut. Just double click on the margin below, above the top margin. If you double click, immediately it comes to header and footer. But you can get the header and footer command by going to the insert tab and going to the header portion of the header and footer group. Okay, so if you click on header, okay, if you want to insert a header, then see the header is inserted above the top margin. Similarly, the footer is inserted below the bottom margin. So the purpose of this ruler here, is to identify the header portion and to identify the footer portion. So that's how I can tell that this is the footer and this is the header. Okay, by looking at the ruler only. Okay, so this one, this is written in the header portion. How I can tell? By looking at the left ruler. See, the margin is still here, and this text is written above the top margin. So this is in the header portion. So if I want to remove this, let's say, then I go to insert tab, header and footer, click on header. Wherever the header is typed, I just delete this one, then close header and footer, then see this one gets deleted. Okay, save the document. So the left ruler does all these things. So title bar, quick access toolbar, maximum, minimize, close button, menus which are arranged in tabs, and those tabs have groups, and inside the groups they have commands. Then there is the ruler, the top ruler and the left ruler. So on the right hand side there is the scroll bar. It scrolls the entire page up and down, and then at the bottom you have the bottom scroll bar, and then you have the status bar. Now in this status bar you have information related to the document. So this document is typed using English, that is US English. Okay, and then there is no errors in the document till now, and there are 388 words in the document, and this is the page 1 of 1. This means that this is the first page of the document. Then the views of the document. So if you want the double page view, that means the read mode, you just click here and it takes you to the read mode. Then you want the editing mode, just click here, it takes you to the editing mode. And you want the web layout mode, then just, so if you have a web page that is typed, so you can just click on the web layout and it will show you the web layout mode. But basically keep it in the editing mode so that it becomes easier for you guys to edit the document. Then you have the zoom option. So if you want to see the document bigger, just increase the zoom option. If you want to see the whole document or if the document is smaller, decrease the zoom option. Or you can even click here and then adjust, like I want the document to be adjusted to the width, so I click on page width, click on OK. So the document is already adjusted. So these are the things that is present in the status bar. Okay, so This is basically the graphical user interface of Microsoft Word. The title bar, quick access toolbar, maximize, minimize, close button, the menus. By the way, the menus that are tabs, the groups and the commands, all of these are together known as the ribbon. Okay, this is known as the ribbon. So what does the ribbon contains? It contains the menus which has commands arranged in groups. Okay, so the menus are home menu, insert menu, design menu. These menus are tabs, these tabs are groups, and then these groups have commands. So the tabs, that means the menus, the commands, the groups in which the commands are arranged, together they form the ribbon. Okay, so that's the ribbon. Then you only have one thing, that is the file tab. Okay, now clicking on the file tab immediately lets you go to the backstage view. Now this is known as the backstage view. Okay, so if you want to go to the backstage view, click on the file tab. It lets you go to the backstage view, and then, as I have already explained, the backstage view contains these commands: the home, new, open. Okay, new command lets you create a new document. Open lets you open the previously opened document. Info lets you access the properties of the document. Save allows you to save the document. Save as allows you to save the document in a name. So if you create a document at first, then save as the document, save as a name to the document, and then you can click on save to just save the document. It contains the print command to print the document. You can print the document in any way you want. Select the printer, do all the formatting options. You can share the document, you can export the document in different formats. Okay, or you can close the entire document altogether. So these are the various commands that is available in the backstage view of the file tab. So now clicking on the file tab lets you go to the backstage view. Okay, so this is the graphical user interface of Microsoft Word. And whenever we are going through the Microsoft Word graphical user interface, then we'll be going through the tabs, the groups, and the things. Like if I say you go to the backstage and click on print, so you have to immediately know that yes, I can open backstage by clicking on the file menu, and then I can find the print command here, or go to the layout tab and insert a border. Then you go to the layout tab, go to the design tab and then insert a border. Then you have to go to the design tab. Page borders are contained in page background group, so you click on page border and see the border options are all here. So whenever we are talking about a certain command, then we will talk about the tab, group, and then the command. Okay, so you have to know which commands are there in which tab. Okay, so the home tab contains frequently used editing commands that you use for editing the document. The insert tab contains commands which lets you insert pictures, which lets you insert various things, word art, which lets you insert a drop cap. Okay, all the inserting things, insert shapes, insert pictures, insert a chart, or insert a cover page even, or insert a blank page before a page and after the page, or insert a page break. That means you want to break the page into two different pages. All these things, and even a table if you want to insert a table. So all these inserting options which you want to put into the document is present in the insert tab. And the various designs, okay, like the themes, the page border, the page color, if you want to add a watermark, all these design options are contained in the design tab. The layout contains margins, the orientation of the document, portrait or landscape. If you want the document to be portrait, click on portrait. If you want the document to be in landscape, then the size of the document, that means you want this to be in A4 or in letter or in legal or in A3. Okay, so the size, you can see the size of the document. And then columns. Now this is very important. Now let's say in one page only, let's say the orientation of the document is portrait. Now you want two different columns in the first page. That means the text is arranged in like this, one column from top to bottom and second column from top to bottom. Then you just click on columns and click on 2 if you want the text to be arranged in 2 columns like this. See how the text is arranged in 2 different columns. That's the same thing if you want in 3 columns. Then just go to column and create 3. So the text is arranged in 3 columns. Here there is not enough text, that's why it is, but if I just increase the size, then maybe I can show you. Yeah, see, the text is arranged in 3 columns. Okay, so just by clicking the columns, you can divide up the page into 3 different parts or 2 different parts or left. And then indentation that we did using the ruler, you can set it manually by here. And the paragraph spacing which we did in home tab, that also you can do here. That means this much space you want before the paragraph or after the paragraph. And if you insert an object, if you want to change the layout of the object, then you can set the layout here. Okay, so these are the basic tabs: home, insert, design, layout. 99.99% of the time you'll be using these tabs only. Then there is the references tab. In the references tab, you can insert a footnote. That means references mean if you are creating the document. Let me just set it to column 1. Yeah, that looks good. Now if you want to insert a footnote, okay, so a footnote is something which describes a paragraph. So if you want to insert a footnote, then you just go to the references tab, footnotes group, and insert a footnote. Now here you can insert a footnote. That means you want to describe the paragraph about something, you just insert a footnote. And if you want to describe the page, or you want to add something to the end of the page, then you click on insert. So there are various reasons why you want to insert a footnote and an endnote. Okay, so an endnote lets you add a note at the end of the page. Okay, and a footnote lets you add a footnote to the end of the paragraph. Now let's say video, I want to insert a footnote about a video. So I can click here and I can type in the footnote, but I will show you later after, this document is not adequate to insert footnote and an endnote. I will just show you how to insert. And if you insert an index, then just table of contents, you can just click on table of contents and then insert index like here, like this. Now it's showing that creating a table of contents, then if you have contents, then only like these contents will be clickable. So if you click, it will go to that part of the document. So no table contents entries are found here because I have not formatted the document to insert a table. So if you want to use the commands of this tab, then you have to be very good with the formatting of the document. Okay, first format the document and then you can use these things. Let me just cancel this. Just remove the table of contents. Okay, so these things are present in the references tab. Not many times you will use these things, but if you are using these things, then you have to be very good with the formatting. Okay, then the mailing tabs. Now this lets you start a mail merge. We'll get to that section later. Okay, not now because this is an entire chapter. Okay. Then the review lets us check the document, if the document is good, if the markup of the document is good, the formatting of the document, the spelling and grammar of the document is good. All these things we can check it in the review tab. In the view tab, we can view the document itself. As see these options, the read mode, the editing mode, and the print with the print layout and the web layout mode. These modes, this can also be done here. Okay, so these were the shortcuts and this is the menu. And as I have already told, help tab, it lets you find help if you need it. And then this is an extra tab. This is I have installed the software, and this lets me create a PDF, advanced PDF. Okay, a compatible PDF dash a compatible document. So I create PDFs a lot because I have to share certain things created in Microsoft Word as a WhatsApp message. So WhatsApp does not support Microsoft Word, viewing of Microsoft Word, so I immediately create a PDF of it just by clicking it here. Okay, and then send it just by clicking somewhere else. Okay, so these options are being provided by the software Nitro PDF reader that I have installed. This is not, you will normally not get this tab when I have installed the software. That's why I'm getting this tab, but you'll get all these tabs. Okay. Then we'll come to formatting a document. How to format a document quickly. Let me teach you how to apply bold, italic, underline. So if this is the document, if this is the paragraph that you have typed, and you want to apply bold to this word, then you could just select. Now rule number 1, whenever you are doing something, editing in anything that you have typed, you always have to select that particular portion. For example, if I want to apply bold, then I have to select. Now how can you select? You can just place the cursor at the front of the selection, that means the front at which you want to select, click the mouse and then drag the mouse. That way you can select. Or if you want to select a word, then just double click in the middle of the word automatically gets selected. If you want to select an entire sentence, then just go to the start of the sentence, click it, the cursor, this blinking line, this is known as the cursor will come here, and then click and drag and you can select the entire line. Okay, the shortcut to selecting the entire line, triple click, it lets you, wait, what happened, yeah, here. Okay, so go to the start of the line, click here, just clicking here will select you the entire line. To select an entire paragraph, just click on the cursor and then you can click and drag and select the paragraph. Shortcut, triple click selects the entire paragraph. For example, if I want to make this paragraph justified, that means I want to make the text look good on both on the left and right, then I'll just triple click here and click on justified. See, easily I have justified the text instead of just clicking and dragging the entire document, then going to the justified tab. Doing shortcuts, it saves a lot of time. That's it, nothing else. You can do in that manner also, it does not matter. But what I was teaching you was how to apply bold, italic, underline. Yeah, selecting a text, select the text. You can select from the front also, you can select from the back also, it does not matter. Select the text and then go here. This is the bold. The shortcut is Control B. So if you click on B, see, the text is bold. That means it makes the text fatter, or it makes the text appear distinct than the other text. So this is the bold option. Italics provides you with a slanting text. Okay, slanting means it is slanted, and you just see it. Select the word in which you want to apply italics and click on I. Then it italicizes the text. Italicizes means it slants the text in a certain way so that it looks different than the other text. Then underline is simple. Just select the word in which you want to underline, click on U. This lets you underline the text. Now, not only in single words, if you want to do the whole thing to an entire paragraph, then you can select the entire paragraph, click on B, entire paragraph will become bold. If you want to italicize the entire paragraph, just click on I, it will italicize the entire paragraph. If you want to underline the entire paragraph, just click on U, it will underline the entire paragraph. Okay, basic formatting. These three options are known as basic formatting. For example, I want to emphasize on something, like save time in Word with the new buttons that show up where you need them. So I will select only this line, then I will click on bold. Okay, now this lets me emphasize on the line. This makes the line special. So whenever you are reading, and when you see this line, yeah, this means that this is important. Okay, and then if I want to insert a, let's say, how to change, I'm giving a title, and then I want to make this as a title, not as a normal paragraph. So what I will do is I will select this one, click on underline, then see it behaves as a title to this paragraph. Okay, so this is why you need bold, underline, and italics is just something like this is special. Okay, this word is special than the other words. Then you click on I, it lets you italicize. This italicizing of text, what I understand is basically italicizing of text means giving the text under quotes. So italicizing of text is same as, let's say, I'm applying single quotes to a certain word. Okay, I'm emphasizing this text. So I think of giving simple quotes and italicizing the text as the same. So this is also the rule. Which words you want to italicize? You want to italicize the words which you want to make special, or you want it to be distinct than the other words. Then just select the word you want and then click on I. It will italicize the text. Not that much different. If you want to make the text purely distinct, bold the text. If you want to make the text a heading or something, underline the text. If you want emphasis on the text and you want even the text to be a topic starter or to be a headline, then just use underline, bold together, and underline, bold, italic together creates a text like this. Okay. So you can use these options. These are the basic formatting options. Then if you want like to change the font, in a paragraph, then select the paragraph and you go here, and then you can select any font. Now many of you people do a mistake, and the mistake is, let's say you are writing something, and then let's say you apply this font. Okay, so remember, if you are a professional, or you want or you are typing many documents at once, if you are a professional, then you have to select the font which corresponds to the text that you want. A very good example of it is, if you are writing an application, for example, an application to the principal or someone, you cannot use fonts such as these. Okay, you cannot use fonts such as these or these. Okay, you cannot use fonts such as these do not work for a professional application. Okay, you can use Times New Roman. Okay, Times New Roman, this is the font that is professional. Okay, or you can use Helvetica, HELVI, Helvetica is not there. Okay, Helvetica was a font that is very, or simply you can use Calibri, which is the basic font here. So Calibri is the basic font, and you can use that font. So let's say you are stylizing something, you are creating something for, let's say, a certificate. Okay, you are writing the text for a certificate which is very curly and all. So you have to change the font to so that it corresponds to the way you are writing the certificate. So I will use monotype cursiva. Okay, so see, it makes the font like this. Okay, so this is how you like if you're writing certain, this award goes to, so you will like write it in this font. Okay, so you have to match the font to the text in which you are writing. Okay, so don't apply font because you want to apply font. Fonts are very special things. Okay, fonts can make the document stand out, or it can ruin your entire document. Okay, so select font only when you know that this document needs this font. Don't just like, for example, I am creating a document, okay, where I want fully emphasizable text. Let's say I want the word video to be written in such a manner that it creates a heading which is very impactful. Okay, so firstly I will increase the size. Oh, by the way, you can increase the size by clicking here and then increasing the size here. And then let's say I am writing this word video. Now this font is the normal font. Let me increase the size bigger. Okay, this is the normal font. This is not creating that much of an impact. Okay, I know that. What I will do is I'll select the impact font. This, because this was in bold, let me reduce the bold. See. Okay, doesn't it look like something like the heading of a magazine? Okay, it looks like the heading of a magazine. So this is creating a very good impact over the entire document that I have. This is the heading for something. Immediately people when see it will know that they will know that, yeah, this is a heading for something very important. Okay, so this is how you use fonts. This is how you use. Now if I change the font to something like this, okay, this does not create that much of an impact. Yeah, it stylizes, it is a bit stylish, but it does not create that much of an impact. So select the font according to the content that you are writing in the document. Also the size. Okay, my rule of thumb, if you are following my rule of thumb, if you are following the way that I create documents, is that I always create documents by thinking about the user. Now let's say the user is a child. The user is a child. Then I'll use fonts such as 14, yeah, 16, 18, 20 or 22, in this range, 14 to 22. Okay, why? So that it makes the text bigger, and even if the document is like this, then the child can read clearly because the wordings are bigger for a child eyes. Now if I am creating something for, let's say, an application, I will use this range 11, 12, 14, this range. So if I write it in 12, then it lets me use the entire page, and then it is for a person who is reading something. Okay, so the person is already reading it, so I can write it in a smaller font, which lets me add more text to one page. Okay, so I'll select it in this range. If I'm creating a question paper, however, I'll be writing it in 14 font. Okay, so and the font should be Arial, then I'll write it in Arial. Okay, because Arial is a font where the F is distinct, the E is distinct, okay, the R is distinct, so I don't want students to get confused between certain letters. Okay, so I'm also, Arial is a font which keeps the font straight, so that if any student is dyslexic or a student has visual impairment, then they don't confuse between the D and the B. Let's say a B is always like this and a D is always like this. And if I do it in monotype cursiva, the same thing, then they will get confused. See how the D and B is. Let me increase it. How the D and B is. Okay, so for creating a question paper, which I want everyone to understand, all the children, I'll use the font Arial. So what my say is, I am using font and font sizes. Okay, I'm using it. I'm creating the question paper in size 12. So that everyone can see, everyone can read. That's why there are certain font sizes, there are certain ranges that you can use. Okay, 11, 12, 14 question paper, 14, 16, 18 for a child, an old person, an elderly person, 18, 20, 22, 24. Okay, all these things. You're writing for something for a magazine or a newspaper, similar 10. Okay, so font sizes you can, or if you want to make the text very big, okay, for some styling purposes, then you make the text big like this. So use the font sizes. Now if you want the font sizes, if you don't know, if you want to just preview the font sizes, then just click on increase font size. By clicking here, you can increase the font size or decrease font size. Okay, so these are the shortcuts to increase and decrease font size. Now in this chapter, the last two things that I'm going to teach you is subscripting and superscripting. Okay, so let's say water is H2O, and let's say A plus B whole square. Now H2O, let me increase the size so that you guys can see. Okay, H2O, the formula for water. Now the formula for water, the 2 is written below the writing line. Now let's say there is an imaginary line along with the line of the H. See, there is an imaginary line. Let's just say the 2 is written below the writing line, not along with the text here, below the writing line. So to write something below the writing line, you just select it and you click here. Okay, this is known as subscripting the text. Now see, if this one is the writing line, then I have written the 2 below the writing line. So this is the normal writing line of the letters. That means the letters are along this plane, and then the 2 is just below this line. This is known as subscripting. Okay, then A plus B whole squared. Now if you write maths, then you know that the square, cube is always written above the writing line. Above the writing line means if there is a line here, you write above the line. Okay, so wait, let me just quickly check it here. Yeah, it's working. So to make the text above the writing line, you select the text and you use superscript. See, the 2 comes above the current plane or the current line that you are writing. So this is known as subscript. Subscript means writing below the writing line, and superscript means writing above the writing line. And then there's strike through. Strike through is nothing but if I want to cut the text, then click on strike through. It is cutting the text. I'll teach you coloring and toggling of cases later. for now, this is just the basic formatting options which you can use in Microsoft Word. Bold, italics, underline, changing the font size, subscripting, superscripting, and strike through text. Okay, later we will learn about the applying colors, applying indentation, changing the this one, using lists, bullet lists, number lists, and using styles, various type of styles, and then second lastly tables, and then inserting pictures and all, and then at last the print commands. Okay, so all these things we'll learn. Till then, guys, be safe, stay inside, do practice the Microsoft Word things. You can practice it easily by creating the projects which I have given you. I have already given some projects in class 9 and in class 10. In class 9, prepare a report in MS Word, in GSTP. So all these things you can do. When you start doing these things, you will start to use these options, and when you use these options, when you practice these options, then you will know how to use it, when to use it, and how quickly to use it. That means how to use the shortcuts to these options. So start doing the practicals, and while doing the practicals, you will get through all these things, because I have see font Cambria. Here will change the font type, you'll apply margins, here you'll change the font style. So all these options you will use while you create that project. Okay, so start doing the projects, you will be using these options. Okay, so bye bye, stay safe, stay inside, and look over my previous videos if you want to browse more videos. And if you have liked this video, click on that like button. If you have not liked this video, or you have disliked this video, then you can obviously click on that dislike button. Consider subscribing to my videos to get updates on the newly released videos. And guys, study, because IT 402 in class 9 is a very big syllabus. Okay, and this is just the first chapter of the first unit which we are going to start in school. Okay, all right then, bye bye.